IHMS.
IHMS Commentary. Tracking Harar Icons. A Click of Aspirations. Recently, there has been a surge of misinformation and disinformation about Harar's history. The hijacking and distortion of Harar's historical facts, events, artifacts, and heritage needs to be exposed. Harar's true legacy should be re-echoed and come to light to Ethiopians and the globalized generations, especially when Hararis with various backgrounds are scattered all over the world. This is an IHMS Tracking Harari Icons series, a series that focuses on and celebrates Harar's political, economic, and social heroes. It is all about Harari impact makers in Ethiopia and beyond, and echoing Harar's genuine history. In the last episode, we were inspired by the icon of determination, Queen Bati Dirwambara, who was a warrior, diplomat, and humanitarian when Harar was at its peak in the 1550s. She was Harar's first lady with unparalleled leadership qualities. Today, the focus is on the Ambassador of Aspirations, who is highly involved in Ethiopia's development and also dedicated his life to Harar's causes to date. To begin with his famous adage, patience and forbearance are the twin offspring of higher aspirations. If President Nelson Mandela was dubbed as the father of freedom in South Africa, Malcolm X as the father of Black empowerment, President Kwame Nkrumah as the father of Pan-Africanism, and Prime Minister Hussein Onn of Malaysia as the father of unity and diversity, then Ambassador Muhammed Bahar Sheikh is synonymous with the father of Harari Regional State in federal Ethiopia. In the 1990s, he was among the defenders of minorities and indigenous peoples of Ethiopia. Who is Ambassador Muhammed Abdurhaman Bahar Sheikh? In a bustling knowledge city, Harar, there emerged a remarkable individual named Muhammed Abdurhaman Bahar Sheikh on the 2nd of February 1931 from his father Haji Abdurrahman Omar Bahar Sheikh and his mother Aik Amaria Abdullahi, the daughter of the last governor of Harar, Haji Abdullahi Ali Sadiq. This was the beginning of a man with multiple missions and impacts. His education journey began at Harari Quranic and elementary schools in 1937, and then he attended Tafari Makonnen High School in Addis Ababa. He went on to Addis Ababa University and received a BA in Public Administration. His scholastic achievements took him to one of the top universities in the world. Records from McGill University, Canada, show that he joined McGill in 1954 and graduated with a Bachelor of Law degree. While he was at McGill, he was the president of the African Students Association. He further obtained a diploma in comparative law from the European University of Comparative Law in Luxembourg. He was a man who absorbed both Islamic studies and secular education within Ethiopia and across continents. His appetite for history, legislation, politics, and diplomacy set him off to build the nation, bridging the gaps between the diverse peoples of Ethiopia. He became a man of many titles and even more responsibilities. As a lawyer, educator, diplomat, and politician, he navigated the intricate web of international and community relations, tirelessly built institutions, and championed the causes of peace and justice in Ethiopia, especially for Harar. Ambassador Muhammad the lawyer. As a lawyer, he actively served in the National Legal Codification Commission. His expertise and dedication led him to be a legal advisor in the Ministry of Commerce, Industry, and Tourism, then became the Minister of State in 1970. He was the Minister of Commerce from 1974 to 1977, and finally a judge in the Commercial Division of the Supreme Court of Ethiopia. He was also the Regional Election Commission's chairman and the Constitutional Commission's vice chairman. His influence extended to legislation, with notable contributions to the publications of the Ethiopian National Constitutional Law, Ethiopian National Investment Law, Ethiopian National Weights and Measures Law, National Insurance Law, and Harar's Regional State Constitution. Ambassador Muhammad the Community Developer and Institution Builder. Ambassador Muhammad displayed a strong commitment to societal well-being and achieved a multitude of commendable achievements. He made significant contributions to his homeland Ethiopia in a number of different ways. He served on various boards including the National Bank, Coffee Board, and Abadir schools. He represented Hararis at the Traditional Assembly and chaired the legal team in Addis Ababa. He was one of the founding members of Abadir schools in Addis Ababa and writer of the bylaws for all Abadir schools. He worked towards uniting Abadir schools in Addis, Harar, Dredwa, and Jijjiga. Ambassador Muhammad the Educator. His career began as a humble madrasa teacher for 2 years. He also taught evening classes at Addis Ababa University from 1965 to 1966. Ambassador Muhammad's commitment to his community was evident in his literary work, including authoring 2 volumes of Arabic language books for Hararis, and articles on Harari marriage and wedding ceremonies at Addis Ababa University. He was an editor for the Ethiopian Youth News Bulletin in North America. Ambassador Muhammad, the Ambassador. As a diplomat, he represented his country on the global stage as Ethiopia's first ambassador to Libya. He traveled extensively, attended international summits, and negotiated peace, business, and development agreements. He believed diplomacy was a powerful tool to resolve disputes without violence within Ethiopia. His tireless efforts led to several breakthroughs in long-standing regional conflicts, earning him the respect of Ethiopians and world leaders. In 1991, in recognition of his remarkable achievements, he came back from abroad, leaving his family and work behind to represent Harar in the Ethiopian parliament. He dedicated his efforts to establishing the Harari regional state when Ethiopia adopted a diverse and inclusive governance system, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Ambassador Muhammad the Politician. His charisma and unwavering dedication soon propelled him into the political arena. His political career began as an idealistic young man eager to change the world. He joined grassroots movements in Harar that aimed to bring about political, social, and economic equality in Ethiopia. From holding ministerial posts to becoming a member of the Ethiopian National Parliament, where he was known for his eloquence and principled stance on pressing issues. He relentlessly advocated equality, equity, and justice for Ethiopia's nations, nationalities, and peoples. In the National Parliament, he eloquently defended the historical facts, indigenous peoples' rights, socio-economic contributions, and affirmative actions for minorities. He exposed the systematic ethnic cleansing and centuries of repression of the Harari people. His binding legal arguments and the use of international laws associated with the rights of indigenous people and minorities paved the way for establishing the Harari regional state in the 1990s. This earned him respect and a designation as the father of Harari regional state in modern Ethiopian history. He was a professional statesman and a peacemaker. As a side note, the existence of the Harari regional state highlights the freedom of minorities and the liberation of the indigenous people of Ethiopia. Harar symbolizes a cure for Ethiopia's long-standing racist and repressive imperial Ethiopian regimes. The establishment of Harari regional state is a game-changer for equity and justice for the minorities of Ethiopia. Harar persists in the realization of federal states for the indigenous minority population to overcome social injustices and ethnic cleansing. Harar informs the people of Ethiopia of an enduring struggle for freedom and justice from the repression of the statistical majority. Statistical majority rule is inhumane for minorities and cannot be used as a justification to rob their rights in Ethiopia. Harar reminds the die-hard, arrogant, and ignorant remnants of imperial Ethiopia to cleanse their oppressive and invasive consciousness. Harar is the face of minority rights and humanity. Harar is reduced to less than 0.002% of its original size through siege, occupation, and confiscation. Marginalization, assimilation, displacement, and exodus were the tactics used to politically cannibalize not only Harar, but also the minorities in Ethiopia. Harar is a remedy to the existential threats of marginalization and assimilation. Harar is the voice of religious freedom, national respect, and multiculturalism. Harar teaches courage and resilience against invisible and silent ethnic genocide. Harar is a way to revive, reconcile, and coexist. Harar is a compass of rationality, dignity, and truth. Harar is the powerhouse of sanctity and peaceful resistance. The existence of Harar is positivity and inclusivity. The existence of Harar is a showcase of unity in diversity. Harar pronounces the era of a shared future. All in all, Harar is the mother of peace not only in Ethiopia but also in East Africa. Therefore, we commend the Ethiopian government for the steps it continues to take, the steps of establishing more regional states based on minority and indigenous rights. The establishment of new regional states such as Sidama, Southwest Ethiopia, and Southern Ethiopia is a validation of autonomy to reach lasting peace in Ethiopia. The solutions to Ethiopia's political illness are to recognize the voices of minorities, keep upholding their natural rights, establish more regional states, and protect them from the intoxicated, vicious majority extremism and die-hard imperial remnants. Genuine democracy always begins with indigenous peoples' recognition, minority rights, affirmative actions, and protection from ethnic cleansing and systemic genocide. True Ethiopians support equality, equity, and justice for all in the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Ambassador Muhammad, the Impact Maker. As the years passed, Ambassador Muhammed Bahar Sheikh's reputation as a diplomat, politician, educator, and humanitarian continued to grow. He was a beacon of hope in a world often plagued by division and strife. His unwavering commitment to diplomacy, justice, and humanity earned him numerous awards and accolades, but he remained humble, always believing that there was more work to be done in his hometown and home country. He had seen the power of diplomacy in preventing conflicts, the impact of political leadership in shaping policies for the better, and the difference that education could make in the lives of the most vulnerable and repressed. Looking back at his heydays, Ambassador Muhammad's journey encompassed all-around fulfillment. His legacy was not defined by the titles he held, but by the positive change he brought to Ethiopia and Harar. He, along with his companions, had indeed changed Harar for the better, and forever, through diplomacy, politics, and most importantly, his unwavering dedication to the welfare of humanity. I met Ambassador Muhammad during the 2001 Harari Cultural and Sports event in Toronto, Canada. I learned a lot from his presentation on the genesis of Harari Regional State. As a young Harari, I sought advice about my then upcoming publication on Harar, and during our conversation, he injected me with his insightful words. He said, "If we want peace, we remain calm and collected. If we want education and wisdom, we listen and learn the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we want to succeed, we learn courage from our ancestors. And if we want love and coexistence, we become ourselves and help others. Also, his overall message to the crowd was safeguard Harar's values, the culture, the language, and the religion. And his final words to the Ethiopian Muslims were, protect the core Islamic center, Harar, from extreme Muslim haters and diabolical Ethiopians. His humbleness was also my extra takeaway. Let's celebrate his excellent achievements and salute the man. The ambassador has retired and now lives in London, England with his children, notably with his daughter Dr. Maria. May Allah bless him with a longer age. Ameen. Until we meet with another Harari icon and Ethiopian impact maker, we wish you all peace. Written by Professor Abdi Khalil. Narrated by Rauda Baharun.
IHMS